Welcome to the Unfinished, Imperfect, and Sacred podcast, where we navigate life with open hearts, curious minds, and messy grace, choosing truth over perfection, choosing presence over performance, and always choosing our souls over our shoulds.
Welcome to the Unfinished, Imperfect, and Sacred podcast. Today we're talking about expectations in your life, expectations on social media, and how it weighs on you.
How you set yourself up for disappointment
Mm-hmm.
or not.
And are you actually living in the moment and enjoying those things? I guess after you have those expectations.
Yeah.
The results maybe won't look like what you had in mind.
Well, I can talk about why I woke up with that in my head.
Oh, okay, yes.
We're building a house
Mm-hmm.
or having pieces of a house moved in and all of the things. I 100% romanticized or always had in my head, I guess, an expectation of what a process like this would look like.
Mm-hmm.
And it has looked absolutely nothing like that. It looks like dirt piles and dirt everywhere,
Mm-hmm.
and wood and
Mud.
Way too much money. I mean, you go on Pinterest and you see all these pretty pictures, or even I am so upset with every effing home renovation show I've ever watched in my life. I feel like I need to write HGTV a very stern letter.
Mm-hmm. Setting you up for failure.
Oh, well, because you just get, and I mean, because of who I am, I do romanticize. It's going to be pretty because,
of course,
and it's not, but it's having beauty in moments. But my expectations, I literally have had to sit down a number of times and recognize that I set the expectation for something. It doesn't look like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm letting it be ruined,
Mm-hmm.
and I shouldn't be.
Yeah.
Because it's actually pretty cool once you get past the dirt in your feet all the time.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I mean, you just have to, I don't want to look back on this and have this overwhelming sense of like sadness or anger or disappointment because of what I thought it should look like.
Mm-hmm. And if you didn't actually enjoy some of the moments in the time you were doing them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I mean, and then that translates into everything you do.
Mm-hmm.
And relationships and everything.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because even if, I'm not building a house. I'm going out with my friends.
You're building a future.
Yeah. But you have an expectation of like, oh, what is this night going to look like? What are we doing? This, that, and the other thing. And especially, I think, when you're interacting with other people, there is always going to be variables. You can't control the situation, and you shouldn't control the situation.
Yeah.
Because if I wanted to just be the Laurel show, I can just go out and do what I want by myself. But when I go with my friends, I'm inviting, this friend for this reason and this friend for this reason. And we get together and it's a melting pot of whatever our weeks have been like or whatever our night's going to look like. And that's part of the beauty of it. And I've been in that position where I've like, oh, I want this to be perfect and I want it to look like this. And even saying I want this to be perfect, that is such a ridiculous expectation to put on like an event or an evening or a thing you're doing.
Weddings.
Yes.
Like I
live in the moment.
Yeah, I think that's like one of the worst constructs of
that is such
society.
A good point.
Because it's all like, well, and the buildup, and then but expectations, like that is probably one of the biggest pivotal moments anybody has in their life. Like,
and the amount of stress and anxiety and maybe extra money that you spend to try and make it
meet your expectations,
and it never will.
Yeah, that's crazy. I never even thought about.
Like,
that just hit my head.
Wow. And then when you look back on it too, if you've built up this major expectation for the event and you look back on it and you didn't actually experience anything because you were so busy trying to make
Oh.
it be this perfect thing.
But how many times have all of us done that?
Mm-hmm.
Like any event or anything as small as like going for lunch.
Yeah.
I mean, you get a picture in your head of what you think or want it to look like, and then it doesn't.
Yeah.
Like,
or you have, I mean, for me too, like I'm like, oh, I have a plan because I'm gonna do this, do this, do this, do this, and then this is gonna be the result.
yeah.
But that's not how life realistically is, ever.
No.
Yeah.
But I think it's the setting ourselves up because of the expectations.
Mm-hmm.
And relationships.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, every relationship, well, not every, I can't speak for everybody, but I know myself, and especially after you've been married for a while, they should know, or you have an expectation of this is how they should behave. I mean, even centered around special occasions or something like that, the expectation of like, they're going to do this thing. And then, but that's in your head.
Yeah.
And unless you verbalize it, they don't know.
Yeah, you need to maintain that communication and also take into consideration that this is another being with you. This is not everything that's going on in your head. They're not necessarily having those same thoughts or same feelings or same ideas for what it's going to be. So if you don't communicate in those moments, that's when there's that huge, disconnect. And why did this not follow through? Why did this not work? And why am I mad at this person when they really didn't do anything wrong? No. They just didn't live up to this expectation I had built up in my head, but never communicated to them. So
exactly.
How would they know?
Yeah.
Going back to relationships too, I mean, expectations for me in dating has been like something you have to be very conscious about, because you go on a first date with somebody, and if you have expectations of who they are or how they're going to act, that's not fair to that person. And also, it's not fair to yourself, because the whole part of going on a first date with somebody is you're learning about them. You're, experiencing something together. You're sharing who you are, and then they share who they are. And you build that up little by little as you're getting to know them.
Yeah.
And if you have some expectation of like, this is what I want it to look like, or that is very, very hard. And I think you don't actually, again, sit in that experience and think about, do I like that about this person? Is that something that I want to know more about them? Or, I'm not, feeling this vibe. I want to step back from this. But I struggle with that, because then you have an idea of the type of partner you want. So where do you draw the line between expectations when you go on a date with somebody and like characteristics that you want in a partner?
Well, I was just about to say that. I think that that's like maybe the one situation where this gets turned on its head, because in a dating situation, moving forward with somebody, I think you have to have expectations. Otherwise, and have them met. I mean, not just have the expectations, but have them met. Otherwise, you are just setting up a life of not having what you need out of that relationship.
Yeah, which is like a nightmare.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a dichotomy. There's people who say this, where it's like, oh, you should have those expectations and that's important going into it. And I think the hardest part is when you have those, actually deciphering, is this person, do they have those things? Do they have those characteristics? Or am I judging them before I know them? That's where I think the challenge is. And then there's the other side of people who say, oh, your expectations are too high. You want too much from a partner.
Maybe those are boundaries, though. Maybe they're not expectations.
Yeah.
Maybe they're like on a job, like you have to have certain skills to get this job. So why isn't it okay for you to have these things that this person needs to have? Because you know that that's what you need in your life to feel loved and to feel fulfilled and to feel whatever you need to feel.
Absolutely. And for me, I'm like, if my partner doesn't meet those things, I don't want them, because I can be single. I can do things on my
But
own.
do you verbalize it?
Like on a date?
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like I've been better about that now. I mean, I just started dating again like last year, so it's been a learning curve for me for sure. And I think each time I meet somebody new or I go on a date, I I do the whole debrief thing and I'm like, oh, okay, like I don't want that, or this was good, like this matched what I was looking for. But, if they don't match here, then it's not
Yeah.
worth it. So I don't know. I guess that's maybe something I could verbalize more when I'm dating, but I don't know. It's tough.
I
I
think
feel like it's
I
different
feel like
each time.
it's one of those habits that you should get into. And
Hmm.
this is speaking from because I'm totally guilty of like he should have known.
Hmm.
Why didn't he do that? Or
Hmm.
right? I mean, the whole mind reader thing.
Yeah.
And I mean, even 20, well, I mean, it's more than 20 years, but into a super long relationship, you still, well, the communication piece is, especially around expectations, is so huge
Hmm.
because you aren't a mind reader. No
No.
matter, I mean, you can be the most empathic person in the world and you still don't know what they're thinking.
Hmm.
Like you might feel how
Yeah.
that they're angry or they're sad or they're, but you don't know 100% what's creating that sense of feeling, setting up for conflict
Yeah.
because they don't know. I
Right.
mean, even what, like through this whole process of Montana, and it's such a minefield of I thought it was going to look like this,
Hmm.
or Gary thought it was going to be, I was going to do this thing, and then but nobody's verbalizing it, and so then you're sitting there with a beer thinking, why didn't that happen?
Yeah.
Or I'm super unhappy about this.
Yeah.
But it's
Well,
all because you haven't verbalized the expectation.
hmm
I think it's
I
even in the
guess.
smaller moments, not just huge things like building a house.
Hmm.
I think it's as much as coffee in the mornings
Hmm.
and like,
This is important to me.
yeah,
I want to talk to you in the morning, or
yeah,
I want to have alone time in the morning.
yeah.
And I mean, it's a challenge every day, honestly, because as you grow and change,
Yeah.
those expectations you have might
Oh,
change
but
as
even
well.
like expectations for yourself.
Hmm.
I mean, I think, I mean, getting back to sort of what we've talked about before too, the expectations that you and I have of this thing we're creating. And
Hmm.
I think we have to be so careful.
Hmm.
And I mean, I think our communication is good, but we have to make sure it's good
And it
and
and
that
it
there isn't,
stays good. We can't just
yeah,
sit back and be like,
be
"Oh, well, our
complacent.
communication has been good, so it'll
Yeah,
keep being good."
exactly.
It's very important.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to continually share
But
that.
in and high expectations for yourself. Like how are you, I mean, listening to you sometimes my heart breaks because it's like I thought I would have done this by now, or
Hmm.
and I see you and I think like I think you're like unbelievably amazing because of what you have done and
Thank
what you're
you.
willing to do and the things that you are so comfortable doing. But I understand that the expectations that you have or have had for yourself are
Hmm.
maybe not being met,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
In but I also we have to be so careful with that.
Hmm.
I mean,
No, it's one of the things I struggle with the most is the expectations that I have for myself. And I know a lot of that is because that's how I grew up. And
mhm.
I'm thankful because it has given me like a really good work ethic, and it has given me, the drive to face opportunities or challenges that other people might have been too scared to do, or,
Oh,
achieve things in those manners. And so I really appreciate that. But it is definitely a battle that I work through a lot because I have, like you said, there are a lot of expectations that I haven't met for myself that I have wanted to, or I thought I would have by now, or, I'm on some level, I feel like I'm letting myself down, or I'm letting my family down, or I'm letting my friends down. And those necessarily aren't even things that other people have ever voiced to me, but it's something I've built up in my head as like.
So not only are you having expectations of yourself, but you are projecting expectations onto other people that you think they have of you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's heavy. Yeah, I do that.
But which is, I mean, robs you of the fun in the moment.
Yeah.
I mean, I look back, I will never regret, like, no matter whether I think we will be very successful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But whether we are or not, I will never regret any of this with you.
Exactly.
So I don't also want to just get stuck in we have to be doing these things and it's not joyful because it's not where we expected.
I truly believe that is the most important reason as to why we're doing this. Because obviously it would be amazing. It will be amazing when more people see what we're talking about, or hear our podcast, or see the work that you're doing or I'm doing or we're doing together. Absolutely. That's going to be incredible when that happens. And it's great that people are viewing it and hearing it and seeing it now too. But the biggest thing, and I know you and I talked about this before we released the podcast, was why are we doing this? And it's because of this. It's not because of the expectation outside of it. And I do believe for me, that's part of the reason I relish this time so much, is because it is something that we're doing without expectation.
Yeah.
And I do find myself sometimes when I'm editing the podcast, I'm like, oh, I should have done this, or I need to do this now. And you really secure me back from that. Like, you keep me in a secure place where it's like, that's not what this is.
Yeah.
And I need that in my life.
Well, I mean, and I think, I'm not sure it comes sometimes from the best place from me, because for me, it's just been so much about having to let go of my expectation of myself, because I am 60 and I don't look like I would love to. I look at, it's the same thing. You edit it and I'm like, well, she could have taken that out. I think I've totally almost gone to the opposite direction of not having an expectation of what I should look like in it, because if I go there, then it definitely, honestly, too, would take out some of the fun and some of the authenticity of it, because at the end of the day, I'm an asshole or goofy. And I guess that's you got to let it. Yeah. It's the same thing we were talking about. Like, just what are you portraying, projecting, absolutely, all of those things. And if your expectation is that, like, yeah, that it's perfect, I know for myself that it's never going to be.
Well, and I mean, for me, that's part of the thing that when I started editing it, I was like, I don't want to lose those moments. Yeah. And so I don't hyper focus on them. No. And I don't edit out some of those things that maybe a different podcast, they would edit those moments out, for sure.
But we're unfinished and imperfect.
Exactly. And I can be that person. I can be this polished, like, I'm on TV, I'm doing this. I can do that, but that's not what this is.
Admirable, amazing. Another one of the things that I just adore about you. That's it. And also aspire to be. I mean, sometimes like when we filmed, I'm like, can you see the dirt? Do I have dirt around my mouth today? Like,
you're out in the wilderness?
Yeah. Well, I've joked with one person and said, well, I don't have high expectations for myself. Like, I mean, you just really can't when you're stacked up against that.
Oh my gosh, Bobby. My ego is going to be too big to fit in this camera screen now.
But, I mean, it all just comes back to the expectation. Like, I don't have that expectation. I mean, yeah.
No, and
I don't have the expectation to be you. No. And why would nor you me.
No.
Like,
but I believe that's one of the more admirable qualities about our friendship is always been that. Like, I admire you and I appreciate you for exactly who you are. I don't want
we're
you
doing
to
the
be.
mutual admiration thing to
It's nice. Yeah, I don't think it needs to be any different. It doesn't have to be that. It's like I'm not going to, dress boho because you just dress boho.
Yeah.
And you're not going to dress in a blazer just because I'm wearing a blazer.
No.
And that was actually one of my favorite things about when we did the photo shoot with Laura for the podcast photos.
Yeah.
The fact that we showed up wearing almost the same outfit, but in our own unique way.
Yeah.
We didn't talk about it beforehand. No. That was so awesome. And again, there was zero expectation from you or I towards the other one for how it was going to look or what it was going to be.
We never even talked about it.
No. And I mean, I literally thought about texting you saying, hey, this is what I'm wearing. And I decided not to because I wanted you to be you.
Yeah. I don't do that with you because then I'm like, oh my God, I'm not going to be okay. I don't have a ball gown.
Yeah. A lot of the time when I go out with my friends and they're like, what are we wearing tonight? What's the vibe? And I'm like, well, I'm going to wear a dress and heels probably. Or they're like, oh, I'm going to wear jeans and a t-shirt. And I'm like, can we not wear a t-shirt to this place though? Like elevate it just a bit for the reservation specifically, but also you do you.
But if they did, would it ruin it?
No, it wouldn't. But most of the time, if I'm like making a correction, I guess, quote unquote correction in something like that, it's because it's like a friend that I know well. And I'm like, you will be more comfortable in this setting if you do this. Yeah. Not because I'm like, you have to dress like this. But I'm like, I know you and I know you're going to be more comfortable like this. Yeah. But also do what you want. Yeah. Sometimes I'm like, I don't like that though.
That's funny.
I love you so much, but maybe change this part of your outfit.
Yeah. Your hopes for them aren't being
If they ask. My friends are going to comment on this and be like, yeah, that's not how it goes. He's going to be like, you trash my gray t-shirt every day.
But if we're staying on topic, you verbalized your expectation.
That's right.
Yeah.
Good job bringing us back to topic.
Well, you told her what your expectation was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I do believe, because I mean, I'm not saying that to somebody I don't know.
No.
I would never.
No.
I would absolutely never. My friends actually have that expectation of me as well.
Oh.
My close friends, they know.
Yeah.
That's who I am.
I have no doubt.
Yeah. So
it's okay because she'll fix it.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. She'll help me.
If I'm not right, she will tell me.
Yeah.
Yes.
My friend and I were talking about this and we said the best part about our friendship is there has never been that barrier of being honest with each other. Yeah. From the time that we met, just instantly had that openness and communication. And she's like, yeah, sometimes like you've said something to me I didn't want to hear. And there have been times I've said things to you that you didn't want to hear. But it never stopped the like love and respect that we have for each other that has been there the whole time. And she's like, sometimes these conversations have been really, really hard. I've had to, think about it afterwards and realize that that's what it is. And I said, exactly. I said, sometimes your friends have to point a mirror to you.
Yeah.
And if you have a friendship where you love and respect the other person, you can point that mirror to them in a way that's not going to devastate them.
Yeah.
They can go from where they need to go from there. But those part of those friendships are really important. Maybe that is an expectation within those friendships, but it's a good one.
Well, because I think you probably have an intrinsic expectation that it's going to be communicated.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you don't hold back out of fear or.
Yeah.
And so then you're not disappointed either.
Yeah.
Yeah. How does it tie into like dreaming and hoping and wishing? Because those are expectations to a very large extent.
Mm-hmm.
But they're only if you are trying to control the outcome 100%.
Mm-hmm.
That's when they're a hardcore expectation.
Mm-hmm. And does that limit what it can be?
That's just it. I mean, it's even I think one of the best things I've ever had said to me, and it was pertaining to how much I was going to charge for a service I was doing, or a painting or whatever. It was, why do you think you get to decide what somebody else can afford?
Mm-hmm.
And I had never thought of it in terms of that before. It was more, I was projecting my belief system
Mm-hmm.
on,
To what other people would be
yeah,
able to afford.
without even realizing it,
Mm-hmm.
right? Having the expectation that nobody's going to pay that for this, or
Right.
which is wrong, and controlling the outcome.
Yeah, because it limits it to what your concept of what it can be is.
Yes.
And I love the universe isn't on a budget.
Yeah.
And so if you, have these expectations of what the final outcome is going to be, you're limiting that. You're not letting it be open to whatever could happen.
Yeah.
And you could not only lose out on the experience because you're so busy trying to maintain this expectation you already have, but also lose out on what it could possibly become because you've limited it to this concept of your belief of what it could be.
If you're somebody that needs in some ways to feel in control of what's happening, or
I wouldn't know anything about that. I don't know what that means.
I know. I just look like I don't do that, but I 100% do that. One of the things that has helped me the most, like truly helped me, is baby steps towards the releasing of the expectation or the control, and saying to myself, this or something better.
Mm-hmm.
Because then I can still imagine the expectation or the hope or the wish for it, then keep it open to something better or something bigger or something different, right? And maybe it shouldn't even be this or something better. Maybe it should be this or whatever. Like,
I do love this or something better. I think that that's such a good, like you said, kind of outline for somebody who likes to have a bit of
baby
control.
step.
Exactly.
Because it still lets you develop the framework that your brain is already hardwired for, but it makes you expand it.
Leave the door open for opportunity, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, challenge yourself to let go in those moments and see what happens, see what changes.
Yes. Super hard. Amazingly, unbelievably hard.
Yes.
Yeah. Learning process, something you have to like literally be very conscious of every day.
It's not going to be perfect because you're learning and you're changing something, but I think that that's such a valuable challenge, is to try and leave that door open for opportunity.
And am I disappointed in this situation because I set myself up
for the expectation,
instead of like having the sadness or the anger or the whatever because it doesn't look like what the picture you had painted or thought it was going to be.
And when you have those expectations in relationships, if you're not vocalizing them, then you're not going to ever find what you need from them.
Yeah.
So I think then the other challenge would be to communicate those expectations in your relationships.
Yeah. I think that probably brings us to the question part.
Yeah.
One of the ones that I thought about was like, have you ever realized your expectations were ruining or have ruined something that was actually really pretty good? For me, it also ties into like, are there expectations that you had that you had to let go of to let something evolve however it evolved, or are there some that you should let go of?
That one for me, I mean, immediately I'm thinking about the New York opportunity and how that was like built up to be this huge expectation. And I mean, the amount of people that even still ask me if I'm in New York or going to New York or if I've been there, I was very proud of myself because when this opportunity with Milan came up, I was like, you know what, I'm going to see what's going to happen here. I'm not going to close the door to the New York thing, but I think I felt like the Milan was going to be better and more aligned with what I wanted, and it's turned out to be exactly that.
Yeah. Guess
And
there's something better.
exactly. And it's still evolving and changing and growing as I move forward with this. But I sat in that New York opportunity and was like, this is exactly what I want. This is how it's going to look. This is what it's going to be. This is exactly everything that I've been looking for. And when there were some of those moments where it wasn't meeting those expectations, I listened to myself and I sat back and I think you and I talked about it at that time too, was this or something better. And
Yeah.
that's when the Milan opportunity came forward, and I wouldn't change it for the
Yeah.
world. So I'm very thankful that I didn't hold on to that expectation and suck all the air out of the room,
Yeah.
thinking that I needed it to be exactly what I had imagined.
Honey, I'm learning that right now. I mean, because I caught myself saying so many times about Montana, about what we're doing there, the property, all the
Mhm.
things. This is not how this was supposed to look. I don't know how many times I said that.
Right.
And I don't know how many times I've said it to other people.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was like a constant litany in my head.
Mhm.
This is not how this was supposed to look.
Mhm.
And then it just all of a sudden one day I was like, you are totally doing this to yourself.
Mhm. And
Like,
you're missing it. You're
yes.
missing
Like
the what's happening in your real life. You're missing that
yeah,
for this
missing
expectation.
like the hilarious moments where you like fall into the dirt pit because it's funny, but you have to let it be.
Yeah.
You have to let it be funny, and it doesn't have to look like anything else other than that moment.
Mhm. And that's part of the human experience.
Yes, but it's a hardcore lesson
Yeah.
in today. And
Yeah, get through
Reiki, I
today.
mean, I'm a Reiki master, and it says the whole tenet of it is just for today,
Mhm.
which I clearly did not listen to.
While you're listening now. It's interesting how, like, obviously that's a lesson that you had read about and studied when you were doing your Reiki training and everything.
So many things.
But it is so human of us to maybe hear it but not absorb it until
well,
now.
and be able to preach about it or talk about it or
Mhm.
make sure that everybody else is doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then right now is when you were meant to
Yeah.
actually absorb that and move forward
I'm
from
getting a hard lesson in it. I'm getting to a place where it's like, that's okay.
it. Mhm.
I don't have to control that.
Yeah. Love it.
This has been the Unfinished, Imperfect, and Sacred podcast. Thanks for being with us today.
Make sure you follow our podcast on YouTube and Spotify. Feel free to leave us a comment or a
Please leave
rating.
us a comment.
Yeah, we'd love to interact with you guys through the comments or on our Instagram as well.